In this video, I'm going to provide an overview of the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill that is now law. And this new relief will bring additional benefits to many Americans that have been plunged into poverty. There are many different components to this rescue package, so I'm only going to be covering the topics that I think will be beneficial to individuals right now who are seeking to understand what is included in this package. So the topics that I will be covering, I'll be talking about the stimulus and how much you will be getting and who will be getting it. Housing, healthcare, SNAP and earned income tax credit, which I'll cover in very brief because I have a video on that. And I will break down an example of what a family of four can expect to get, as well as if you're over age 65, what are some of the benefits that you will be getting as well. I have already covered some of the components in other videos. So I talked about the unemployment benefit, the child tax credit, and the earned income credit in separate videos. You can check out those videos that are going to go in much more detail than I will provide in this video here. If you're new to my channel, I am Tanya Taylor of Grow Your Wealth TV. I teach individuals how to fix their finance and cover all areas such as budgeting, credit, managing your debt, and investing so that you can grow your wealth and retire worry-free. I also cover topics related to taxes. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell for new materials and content. Now let's talk about this new bill that was signed by Joe Biden just a few days ago. It is actually in alignment with many of the president's objectives that he had outlined, including healthcare, the economy, racial equity, and of course, COVID-19 relief. The goal of the bill was to target vulnerable individuals and communities, and you will see that a lot of the benefits that are offered is really meeting some of that need, and there is attempts to even do further down the line. I'm going to start with a stimulus check because that's a big buzz for a lot of people. This is the third round of stimulus check, and it should start going out this weekend. Saturday, March 13th, some of you have probably already received your stimulus check. And the amount that you will be receiving is $1,400. So if you are married, you would be receiving $2,800. And if you're married with children, depending on how many children you have, you will receive an additional $1,400 for each child. If you are married and you make less than $150,000, you will also receive a check. And if you file head of household and you make less than $112,500, you will also get the check. It starts phasing out once you make over that amount. So for example, if you make over $80,000 as a single person, over $120,000 for head of household, or over $160,000 as a married couple, you will no longer qualify for the stimulus check. The stimulus check will be paid based on either your 2019 or your 2020 tax return. Now, if you recall, one of the big drawbacks to the last round of stimulus payments was that certain dependents were not eligible to get this money. So that's a big change that is happening with this third round, where that extra $1,400 will be provided for any dependent in your family. So a lot of family who did not previously receive stimulus check for their dependent, for example, if they had college students that were 23 or younger, now they're going to see that they will get that stimulus check. The same thing if you had elderly parents that were living with you that did not also qualify for the stimulus check for one reason or another, but if you claim them as a dependent, you will see that you will get that extra cash for them in this third round. Another important component of this rescue plan was housing. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, at the end of February, approximately 13.5 million people said that they were behind on their rent. And Moody's have been reporting that renters owe an estimated $57 billion in back rent. So the rescue plan has provided about $22 billion to states to assist tenants with rental costs, arrears, and also home energy costs. And then it has also provided money that's going to go towards emergency rental vouchers as well. and also to homeless prevention. So if you're falling in any of these categories, be sure that you find out what you need to do in order to benefit from some of these resources that have been provided by the American Rescue Plan so that you can stay in your house and keep your family safe and comfortable. Now, in terms of health insurance protection, there was also components of the bill that now requires employer to subsidize 100% of the cost of COBRA from April 1st to September 30th, 2021. And for those of you who are not aware of what COBRA is, this is just a law that gives you, the worker, and your family who lose your health benefits, the right to choose to continue your group health benefit provided by a health plan for a limited time after you have been laid off. So right now, the American Rescue Plan Act is saying that your employer will need to subsidize that 100%. As you imagine, that's a big savings, because if you think about how much you might have to come out of pocket monthly for this kind of expense, it could run you up to $2,000 to be realistic. So you would be saving that $2,000 between now and September 30th, 2021. And then we'll look to see if any additional changes is being made there. Now, in terms of aid for food, there is the SNAP program, which I talk about in more detail in the Earned Income Tax Credit and SNAP video, but essentially the benefit that you will be receiving will be extended through to September. It was initially scheduled to expire in June. And for earned income credit, the amount that you will be receiving has been increased, and the age limitations has also been changed. Check out my video on earned income credit and SNAP benefits if you want to get additional details. Similarly, for the child tax credit, it will be increased. Now parents will be eligible to get $3,000, and if their child is under 6, they will get $3,600. There's also richer benefits that's provided in this plan. I talk about it in my video on the child tax credit, so check that video out to learn more. You will get a lot more detail and breakdown of how that works. And lastly, unemployment benefits as well, which I have another video for. It goes into the type of benefit that you will be getting. You will be getting that additional $300 per week if you were unemployed, or if you were to become unemployed, and that's going to be lasting through Labor Day. If we were to make an attempt to quantify how much a family could expect to receive as a result of this rescue plan, if you think about a couple who's making, let's say, $100,000 and they have a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old, they would get in total stimulus money of $5,600, which is $1,400 times 4. Then they would also be entitled to the child tax credit. And for the 10-year-old, the 5-year-old, they would get $3,600. They would not be getting all of that during 2021, but they would get approximately one half of that. So in addition to the $6,000, they would be getting an additional $3,300. And then if you were to become unemployed at any point in time, or if you were already unemployed, you would continue to get that $300 per week. Now, if you were unemployed and you were collecting unemployment during 2020, another benefit that you will get is that when you do your taxes, you will not have to pay tax on that first $10,200 that you collected in unemployment. So that's an additional savings that you would be getting as a result of this rescue plan. And then because of the changes in the earned income tax credit, you could see some benefit from that as well. So you can see that the numbers really start adding up. Obviously, for many families who have been plunged in poverty or who are just really hurting from the pandemic, it's still not enough, but it's a big help compared to what you were getting previously and what was about to expire. So that's a really big plus. And, you know, as Joe Biden talked about his goal in terms of meeting the needs of those individuals who have really been hurt as a result of the pandemic and just really trying to right-size that, I think a lot of what was done in this rescue package was a step in the right direction in doing just that. And hopefully they will continue to focus on some of these changes that needs to be made to help to reduce poverty and to really start building stronger communities. Now, there is a lot more that was provided for in the relief package, but I only just wanted to cover those that are related to individuals and that will immediately impact you now. But there's so much more that is in the rescue package, and there's a lot more reading for me to do anyway, to be quite frank, but wanted to provide this so as you are thinking about how you're going to be benefiting, you can actually have a summary. And I would recommend that you, if you've already done your taxes, to reach out to your tax accountant so that they can start looking to see how they will amend your tax return. And if you have not done your taxes, just sit and have conversation with your tax accountant to see how you're going to be receiving these benefits going forward, and also how you can plan for your tax during 2021 so that maybe you can get more money in your pocket instead of waiting to file a tax return to get that money, because that's one of the things that a lot of people do not take advantage of. They pay taxes during the course of the year and they overpay, as opposed to taking some of the money back in their pockets and having it so that they can spend. Alternatively, you also want to make sure that you are not in a position where you're not paying enough tax, and so you're going to end up owing. And that's why it's really important that you sit and plan with your tax accountant. Now, as I mentioned before, there's a lot more in the bill that I did not cover here. If there's anything that you think is relevant for individuals, please put it in a comment below as well, because I am sure that others could benefit from it as well. And also check out the other videos that I have done, which talks in much more detail about the different benefits. Lastly, if you are over age 65, you can still expect to get a third stimulus check. You can also, and even if you did not file a return, you will still get that stimulus check. And that applies even if you're receiving Social Security or disability income. If you are listed as a dependent on someone's tax return, you will still also qualify for the check. So that's really good news. And then the earned income tax credit, you may be able to qualify for as well. Also, if you did not receive your stimulus checks for last year, talk to your accountant. They can file a form, the 1040-SR, which will allow you to collect your stimulus check during the course of this year. You gotta claim what's yours. So you want to make sure that you're keeping track of everything so that you know exactly what you're supposed to get and that you're getting it. And again, don't forget to check out the rest of my video in the series on the Biden's rescue package. Now, if you're someone who is ready to take charge of your finances in a meaningful way, I have an excellent program for you. In this program, we are going to meet you exactly where you are. So we start out by teaching you the basics. You will learn how to create a budget, repair your credit, and manage your debt. Then you will learn how to invest and grow. And investing could mean starting a business, building business credit, how to invest in the stock market, index fund, mutual fund, and exchange traded fund, as well as real estate type assets. And then you will also learn how to protect your wealth through insurance, tax planning, as well as estate planning. If you are ready to take charge of your finances, my contact information is in the description box below. Reach out to me. I would love to get to know you more and help you to create a path to map out your journey to financial freedom.